slide off.
Slide, bro. The sandals.
Jolique's a sophomore. I know everybody's going to go to that. Wait, number 22. Yes. He's a sophomore?
Yeah. Bro, I play football. Yeah.
You know, he's over my dad.
I know.
He's my mom.
He has to pay.
He has no idea what he's doing. You said like 2 other nights.
What's your league about?
You sound like you're speaking African language, not
I didn't command.
Give me the wabba.
What is this? Baba.
It's down there somewhere. God damn.
That's not me. Fight it! It's like covered in it.
Hey, you, I got a haircut.
I wasn't gonna get one, but
Hey, hey, easy money.
Johnny's back.
I didn't see shit.
Hey there folks, and welcome to today's match between our Arcadian Apaches and the visiting Burbank Bulldogs. Joining me for today's broadcast, I am joined by the one, the only, Ben Panza. Ben, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's lovely to be here.
Glad to have you. Now today, we are having a little bit of an interesting time trying to find out who's going to win. So right now, we're talking about between the Bulldogs and the Apaches. The Bulldogs have a record of 0 wins and 11 losses. What do you think of that?
Well, I think the Apaches are on that, to be honest.
That's a bold prediction.
Well, the Apaches have won 6 games to the Bulldogs 0, so it's slightly in their favor.
But so you don't think today might be a day first for Bulldogs?
I can't say that I do, no.
Yeah, so now going with the Apaches, they do have 6 wins and 8 losses. Both sides still not favoring both a lot of wins, but they both show a lot of charisma and a lot of good shots on goal. So we'll just have to wait and see what goes on today.
Prediction. 4-1 Burbank.
I think it was your I think you got hard fought game last night. I think they probably win by like 8.
Every time you say Chico. No, they lost that game. No. They lost to Nico. Oh. Yes.
Wait, Nico!
Oh.
Nico, Dan, or you? Nico. Why?
It's not me. It's not me. It's on my Snapchat. It's not me. Shoot it! Watch! Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it!
Wow, well done! Well done!
What a score.
Again! Again!
Again! Do it again! Do it!
like it. We like it.
Shoot it again! Shoot it again!
So we actually win.
Let's go, Alec! Let's go, Alec!
Have a Jerry.
Alec, you sold me $2, bro! You should have recruited a black line. That's what you should have done. They put Harrison, Andre, and Ishmael. Ishmael at mid.
Dad, is that slow?
Yeah, they
That's
should.
slow? Well, last year Harrison played wing. Dude, he was great. Wasn't that Sebastian's ex? Well done. Well done.
I'm on his Romeo here today.
Being the third row.
Okay, coach. That example. I'll take his field there. That example.
Both sides getting ready to start off. So going into the stats, now we're looking over Burbank again. They only have 8 goals scored so far this season and 30 against. What do you think that tells you about their offense?
Well, it may not be such a fact about their offense as their defense. Their offense may or may not have had a chance to score. Possibly when it does, it has scored. Their defense may be too weak, or it may be decent defense, with the offense being too weak and letting the other team's offense through.
And now going to the Arcadia side, now 34 goals for and 36 against. Now, they've had strong opportunities, obviously, in their past games to get plenty of goals, but their win record loss is kind of a little tip-sided. Why do you think that is?
It's either because they play very high-scoring games where you have 6-5 outcomes, 5-6, etc., or they've been in the season longer, which is possible. That Arcadia has played more games than Burbank and Bulldogs did.
Now, Arcadia has won more home games than away, and Burbank has lost less away games than home. So this is an interesting turnout to see how this game will play out. But as the game starts, Burbank gets the ball immediately, and they're on the offense.
You know, it's going to be very interesting to see how Arcadia's defense handles this. They've switched
Very.
out a few of their players. They've got Harrison on the right there, and they're Noah Morton in the center. It's a bit of a different layout from how they usually play.
Do you think this will affect the chemistry lines at all, or do you think this is a good match right now?
It depends how it plays out. So far, it looks like it's holding steady, but it could be a very different outcome or a very different type of game than we're normally used to from Arcadia.
Burbank trying to get in deep, but Arcadia is being able to hold them back, but accidentally kicked out by Burbank, so Arcadia is about to go on the rush.
We could see a breakaway here for Arcadia, but I think what's actually going to happen, is Burbank is going to intercept the ball.
What a touch!
But what we could see happening here for Arcadia is either a push forward with all players or a probe attack just to see how tough Burbank's defense is. Looks like we won't get to see for a little while longer because Burbank's pushed in and taken the ball away.
Seems like Burbank's strategy is just to get it in deep and see how far they can take it, but right now it's not being very effective.
Well, for Burbank, this is looking pretty good so far. They're just trying to keep it out of their side of the field.
As for more Arcadia, they seem to slowly progress towards their side, but keep getting kicked back by Burbank. This could essentially go on for hours.
It could, but I believe that Arcadia is just warming up here. I think that in a few minutes we'll start to see them start pushing a lot harder, get used to Burbank's offense, and that means that Arcadia's defense is going to become a lot tougher, and their offense is going to become a lot more aggressive.
Now, for the roster, or not for the roster, sorry, for the record, do you think maybe the 0 wins and 11 losses kind of has an effect on how Arcadia is going to play their game? Do you think they may be a little bit overconfident? Do you think they might be a little bit cheeky?
We could definitely see a lot of overconfidence on Arcadia's part, but they've usually managed to keep that in check, at least a little. I think the bigger effect here, rather than on Arcadia, would be on Burbank. If you played in a season and lost 11 games without winning a single one, it's going to kind of suck.
But you don't think that would maybe like determine them to be like, okay, we need to get 1 win, so this might be today?
Possibly, but at 11 losses, that's usually the point at which you start giving up a little. Even if it's not conscious, your subconscious could start giving up at 11 losses.
But eventually every team gets at least 1 win, so...
Well, that depends.
Just something is telling me about today that Burbank is not just going to let this become another loss for them. I feel like they're going to come back a little bit harder and maybe a little bit more aggressive than today.
Well, that remains to be seen. Arcadia pushing up here with a foul. Good cross there by Isfar. However, it's not going to turn out as well as Arcadia's did.
Arcadia just trying to establish an offense, but they're a little sloppy on the get-go.
Looks like this may be an offside call. Nope. The ref's going to, the Arcadia player made it back onside before they touched the ball.
Arcadia is very desperate just to make sure that they keep holding that pressure.
I wouldn't quite use the word desperate, but definitely frantic would be a better one.
David, with nerves of steel, getting hit in the head with a soccer ball and not even flinching.
Arcadia's sending the ball back into Burbank's side.
Eager to get their offense starting. Burbank gets it back to their own goalie, and now they're beginning to rush the other way.
Looks like Arcadia's offense isn't going to let that happen easily, though. Pushing it back down into deep into Burbank's side. Burbank here pushing deep into Arcadia's side. And then losing it to Arcadia defense. It's going to end up as a corner for Burbank, though. This could be one of their chances to get a goal.
This could be one of their first chances to get a goal. This is the closest that they've gotten so far.
Arcadia once again clearing the ball. Burbank stops it though. They're going to take it back in.
Trying to set up a play, but a little bit too far wide, so it's going to go in Arcadia favor. A little eager to get to the other side.
Indeed, Arcadia pushing down the left side of the field. With the throw in. Burbank defense looking pretty good despite all of their records, however.
A little bit of a tumble, but an offense is now in favor of Burbank.
Well, I wouldn't quite say that. It's still on Burbank's side pretty deeply.
But now they're getting more possession.
A little bit more, yes. But Arcadia has a lot more control. As soon as Burbank's defense kicked it out, it's going to be an offside in Arcadia there.
Both sides for possession has really like switched. Sometimes it's in really good favor for Arcadia, but then it goes immediately back to the Bulldogs.
You know, the Bulldogs have had a lot of possession, which is good. But the Arcadia's possession has been a lot more controlled. Their balls have gone to their players more often than Burbank's. And their kicks have gone where they wanted them to, whereas Burbank seemed to not go in the right direction.
Nice kick in by Arcadia, but not good enough to get into the goal. So let's see how this goes.
Foul on Arcadia. It's going to be Burbank's kick.
Arcadia seems to be really thinking with their head lately.
Arcadia pushing down the field on the left side once again.
Good rush.
Looks like we got a breakaway here for Arcadia. Ooh, Burbank defense steps in and stops that.
A little bit out of his grasp.
Foul on Burbank there.
A little bit of a body slam. Should we tell the Bulldogs that this isn't wrestling?
Arcadia once again pushing down the left. Looks like they're going to take it to the center though on another breakaway. Nope. Burbank stopped that one as well. Ooh. Bit of a dude sandwich there. Foul on Arcadia for a slide tackle. Nice try by the Bulldogs, but the shot goes to the left. Goal kick for Arcadia.
Defense seemed to be a little bit scattered for Arcadia in that moment. They kind of seemed to like tense up in that situation.
They definitely did. I think they're still getting the measure of Burbank's defense. They're not quite sure, or Burbank's offense, excuse me. And they're not quite sure where they stand yet.
Offensively, both sides seem to be pretty evenly matched.
At this point, yes. They are certainly pretty well matched.
But easily given back to the Apaches, and now the rush begins the other way.
Bad pass there by Arcadia.
Bad kick in by the Bulldogs.
Arcadia playing with fire a little bit, passing the ball around their own goal box. And this is what you're going to get. Bulldogs get the ball back. Luckily, Arcadia defense gets it out of there.
That was a quick, desperate kick to just get it out of there and make sure they don't get a quick rush in. With just about 28 minutes left to go, the score is still 0-0. Ben, what do you think about the game so far?
Well, you know, the game's been pretty back and forth so far, but that's usually what you expect from the first half. There's been a lot of both teams sizing each other up, poking each other here and there, figuring out where they're weak, where they're strong. Arcadia's defense has stopped a lot of Burbank attacks, and same the other way.
Going off of what you said, usually in the beginning of each game, there's usually just a moment where they're just trying to figure each other out. Both sides are just trying to figure out where can we get the ball in, where do you think we can focus our attacks. So right now I think maybe we're a little bit past this stage, and now both sides are gonna capitalize on what they think they can do to start getting those points up there.
I think we definitely will start to see that. There is one little problem with that though, and that problem is, well, Burbank, to be honest. Because their scores aren't amazing, they're probably going to try some unorthodox tactics to try to get their win in.
But maybe some unorthodox tactics is what they need. So far they have little success, so maybe it's something that they need to try out.
We could definitely see something unorthodox from Burbank completely working and fooling the Apache defense, who would be expecting something more traditional. We'll just have to wait and see. Bit of a chancy move there for Burbank, passing the ball back to their goalie from that distance. If the goalie had missed, it would have gone into the goal and had made an own goal.
A little bit of a movie star slide, but not quick enough to get it into Arcadia possession, so it immediately goes to the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs pushing into Arcadia's side of the field, but Arcadia's defense gets there and stops it.
Both sides seem to have a little bit of trouble with possession. They get maybe a little bit too eager and trying to rush in and be the hero, but there's plenty of time to go in this game. They got time to figure out what they need to do, so maybe there's some changes that need to be done there, but overall this game's been pretty well done offensively.
Foul on Burbank. He's going to give Arcadia a kick.
Arcadia fans inspired and starting up their chants.
May or may not do them any good, however. Most of the work is up to the team.
Well, a little team spirit can go some long ways.
Speaking of, Noah Morton passing the ball up to, I believe that's Christos there for a throw-in. bad pass by Arcadia defense there. Intercepted by Burbank. That could have gone very, very wrong for Arcadia. You know, one thing that we're seeing here that our Arcadia defense is doing right now that they probably shouldn't be doing is diving at the ball.
Yeah.
As you notice, every time the Burbank players come in, one of the Arcadia defenders will slide at them or make an attack on the player instead of just slowing them down and waiting for other defenders to help out.
That is a very good point, Ben. Sometimes Arcadia gets maybe a little bit too desperate just to try and keep possession, and they throw themselves at it when they just really need to just keep a level head, just know what they need to do, which obviously they know how to do, and they just need to keep playing the game that they know how to do.
Well, making an attack on as a defender on an offense is not it's something most players do to begin with when they first start playing soccer, and it's a hard habit to get out of.
Yeah.
Even the best defenders who play in national leagues can find themselves falling into stuff like that. But Arcadia needs to snap out of it. They need to stop diving at these players, or they're going to have a lot more runs by Burbank. Some of them are going to end up scoring.
Almost front and center for Arcadia, but not close enough just to get that quick little tip in.
Some good defense here by Arcadia, by their midfield. Good returns on the kicks, but looks like Burbank's broken through, and they're on a run for the goal. Arcadia defense gets the ball, however, and they're sending it back down the field towards Burbank's goal. With a cross to the center. Ooh, just a little too tall, though. Or the ball bounced a little too far above the head of the Arcadia player there.
Both sides have made some pretty quick rushes to get to their goal, but obviously they haven't been able to capitalize on those offensive chances.
Attempted header there. Ooh, that's a good shot. And Arcadia fails to finish that. That could have been a beautiful goal by Arcadia, but it was squandered by a little bit of bad positioning.
That was one of the first chances that we've seen from both sides.
Yeah, I think that's the first attempted goal, maybe the second, this entire game so far.
About halfway to go within the first half, and there's still no score.
Not particularly surprising given the team's a beautiful shot there, but it bounces off the football post, which is going to be, it counts as the ball going out, which means it will be a goal kick for the Bulldogs.
Arcadia getting a little bit more aggressive on the offense. If we're lucky, maybe we'll get to see maybe a goal from them by the end of this first half.
Good pass by Arcadia, but just a little too far, and Burbank intercepts it. It's turning into a bit of a rough one. Both sides doing a little bit of pushing and shoving. Very close to a goal there.
Almost. Very nice kick by Arcadia.
Yeah, if the goalie had let it slip just a little bit more, it could have bounced into the goal.
Bulldogs trying to start up something, just anything, maybe a certain pass that will get them to get some momentum. Just they're trying everything right now.
But the Arcadia midfield and defense is waiting for him.
One thing to note about Arcadia is that they're very aggressive when it comes to defense. They are making sure that they have no room to breathe, making sure that the offense will not have any space to step up in. They're just doing their absolute best, and it's so far it's proving to succeed.
The Bulldogs are getting some chances, though, and that's more chances than Arcadia would like them to have. And unless they want to give the Bulldogs a chance to score and a possible goal, they need to step up on the defense. Stop diving at the incoming Burbank players and just start playing a more solid defense.
Bad give up by Arcadia, now to the Bulldogs' favor, but immediately taken back by Arcadia.
Arcadia passing it up the field once again. But do you see here how they have control of the ball? They're passing it around through and past Burbank players and then crossing it up. That's something we haven't really seen from Burbank. Their plan seems to be give it to one player, get that player as far up the field as they can, and have them take a shot.
A little bit of miscommunication. They're not being able to talk to each other and say, maybe I'll be here and you can be over here and we can get something going. It's just trying to get it in somewhere and say, hey, hopefully we can create something off of that.
It could also be a possible lack of practice on Burbank's part, or some other, maybe a combination of the two. Maybe there's another factor that we don't know.
Maybe.
Either way, a fast start to that foul, free kick for Arcadia. Burbank, however, intercepts the pass. Jeez, that was a pretty nasty tackle there. However, that is going to be a foul on Arcadia, and that will be Burbank's free kick.
One thing Arcadia is guilty of doing frequently that I've seen so far is a little bit too much of ambition, if that is such a bad thing. They try to go so fast down the field that they're just giving up possession of the ball, and Bulldogs are just easily able to just pick up on it.
I think currently Arcadia is taking the best of both worlds when it comes to offense. They're going too slow to outrun the Burbank defenders, but too fast to properly pass around them. And instead they're stuck inside of those defenders with no one to pass to and not enough speed to get past them.
A bit of a shove by the Bulldogs, but Arcadia just shrugs it off. Arcadia fans getting pumped up and encouraging our defense.
Arcadia needs to be a little bit careful about how aggressive they are inside of the box, because that could lead to a PK. However, it nets them a pass up the field, which Burbank is going to have a little bit of interference with. They try to take it down the field again. And a nice cross there to the center by Burbank.
Bulldogs just trying to continue putting that pressure on Arcadia.
Does not, however, look like it's going to work out for them. Arcadia, ooh. Foul on Burbank.
Rush continues for Arcadia as it's kicked out by the Bulldogs.
See, here we go. Arcadia is coming down the field, passing all the way, getting some good touches in, but the Burbank defense is a little too quick and kicks it out.
Both sides are getting a little bit more aggressive on their defense and offense.
Substitutions for both sides. On the Burbank side, most of the team is being, or a good portion of the team is being switched out. It's going to give the Arcadia defense a whole lot more to worry about with a bunch of new offense who they have no idea how to counter. However, they are pretty, overall they are a pretty good defense. So they probably will be able to work out a way to counter them before too long. Arcadia gets the ball from the Burroughs defense, starts pushing it. A nice shot. Oh, just over the top, and it hits the field goal.
Arcadia's having the right idea, just rushing up the middle and getting those hard shots in, but unfortunately, they're meeting the bar, not the net.
I think Arcadia needs to aim a little lower with both their expectations and their aspirations and try to net themselves a goal or two before they count this as a victory.
Well, just 10 minutes left to go, and the score is still 0-0. No side's getting lucky, but however, Arcadia is getting more aggressive on their attacks.
I think they're gradually working out how the Bulldogs defense ticks, how they work, and they're slowly getting further and further past them. Lucky breaks can help as well, of course. However, the same goes for both teams, and as the Bulldogs get a lucky break and start pushing down the field. No cigar for the Bulldogs, though. It's going to be an Arcadia throw, and right in the corner, though, so the Bulldogs do have a chance of turning this around. Arcadia pushing down the field, some excellent passing. failed slide tackle there by Arcadia, which gives the Bulldogs a chance to shoot. It's blocked by the goalie, however.
What
That
a
was
save!
Very, very, very close for Arcadia.
Even though their goalie was back there to protect them, they got to make sure that their defense doesn't get scattered like that. There was not enough people in the back making sure that there was nothing like that's going to happen. But props to the goalie for making such a spectacular save on a rush-in.
It was overall a very good save. Possibly a bad play there by Burbank as the goalie passes it too close to hit the goal. Arcadia gets the ball back, which is going to let them get a shot possibly. Ooh, that's going to be offsides on Arcadia.
Arcadia fans are not happy about that call.
Well, we can't really blame them. If there's any call on your team, you're going to be a little bit upset. Good block there by Arcadia. Ooh, another good block by Arcadia's goalie, and he grabs it. That was very close, however. That could have been a goal for Burbank.
The amount of chances have shifted from Arcadia's favor now to the Bulldogs. And this is starting to come towards the end of the first half.
You know, this is looking pretty bad for the Apaches. Their defense needs to get in shape, square up, and figure out exactly where they left their Brave Pills, because this is turning out to be a pretty bad series of events for them. If they let this go on for too much longer, they are going to lose this game. And Burbank's going to get lucky, or they're going to get good, and they're going to shoot, score, and that's going to set the scores to 1-0 against the Apaches, which is something the Apaches definitely do not want, especially against somebody like Burbank.
There's about 6 minutes left to go in the first half. Still no score, but Arcadia does have a history of making a game either decided by one goal, which whether it be a loss or a win. Do you think that might be a case of today?
We could definitely see a 1-0 outcome here, or a 2-1. We may not, however. It could remain 0-0 for the rest of the game. Burbank defense clearing the ball. Going to be a throw-in on Arcadia's side. Foul on Arcadia. You know, all these fouls that Arcadia's been causing are going to come back to bite them, and possibly right now, as Burbank starts heading down the field. Decent shot, but it's a little far to the right.
Fouls can either change the game for the better or the worse for the home team, and right now it's starting to bite back at Arcadia.
Like I said, their defense needs to stop diving at the incoming offensive players, and Arcadia needs to relax a bit with the fouls. As does Burbank, I'd say. This has been a very physical game for both teams. And it's going to start coming back to bite one of them and be behind. Burbank throwing. Offsides in Arcadia there. It's going to be Burbank's kick.
A quick mention to those who are listening. APM will be covering more games today after boys soccer, so stay tuned and thanks for watching. Pardon me. Arcadia fans getting riled up, hoping that the offense can give them one last gift before the second half begins.
This game so far has been a lot more back and forth than I would have imagined.
Very so.
Despite Burbank's less than stellar record, Arcadia hasn't managed to push through and get any goals or anything solid in against them.
Both sides have had their moments, obviously, but just they haven't been able to capitalize on any chances. Mostly offense.
Here, if Arcadia can do this, however, we could see something. Arcadia going on a breakaway. A through pass there. And a stop. Are we going to see a shot here for Arcadia? No, it does not look like it.
No one there to give back up to Arcadia, so it's immediately going back to the Bulldogs.
And an interception there missed by Arcadia, which is going to give the Bulldogs a chance. But Arcadia stops the ball. We could definitely see a shot here. There's not enough Bulldogs defenders back to stop all of Arcadia's attackers.
If you didn't believe this game was back and forth, look no further. This is just constantly back and forth.
Foul on Burbank.
1 second it was a rush for the Arcadia Apaches, but now it's going back into Bulldogs and then just right back into it. It's now Apache territory.
Good chip there by Arcadia. Arcadia going for the head and going for the shot. Will this... Oh, beautiful save by
Just
Burbank.
wide.
However, it looks like it's going to be offsides on Arcadia.
Just a few more inches and we could have saw something different than just a 0-0 score.
However, that is going to be halftime. Very good attacks by both teams. But
Nothing to put on the board.
No score so far. Maybe we'll see something different in the second half. But for now, that's been APN. We'll come back to you after the half.
Welcome back, viewers. We're just beginning the second half of boys varsity between the Bulldogs versus the Apaches. If you are first watching into this, we welcome you, but unfortunately there's no scores to call out. It's just been 0-0 this entire time. But we hope you do enjoy this live stream, and I am with Ben Panza, co-announcing with me today.
It's very nice to be here.
Now, what do you think going into the second half both sides are focusing on?
Well, for Arcadia, I think it's going to be a lot more attack. We've seen them swap out some players during the halftime break. They've got a lot more midfield and offensive players on the field right now. For Burbank, we'll probably see defense, possibly offense as well, but I'm betting that they'll focus a lot more on defense than they otherwise would have because they're playing Arcadia, and they noticed Arcadia switched out their roster.
Burbank already on a strong start, getting far into Apache territory, but unfortunately, they take over and give it right back to the Apaches.
You know, the Apaches pushing down like this is pretty typical, but what you don't really notice is the midfielders in the center right now, who have been making a lot of good plays for both teams, really. But they've been doing a lot of the legwork so far this game, rather than the offense or the defense. Nice try there by Arcadia, but didn't quite work out. It is going to end up in a corner in their favor, however, which could yield some very, very good results for Arcadia. Or nothing could happen and it could just return to the back and forth game that's been going on so far. Ooh, a beautiful header there by Arcadia, but it's just too far to the left.
A little bit of a preview of what we saw in the first half. So many close chances, but not enough to capitalize or get on the board.
I think we're going to see a lot more of that before anything really changes.
Hopefully not.
Foul there on on Burbank.
We talked about this before a little bit in the first half, which is fouls, and both sides have seemed fairly guilty of both, but these both seem to have a little bit of a flair to both sides. They both are guilty of something different than the other. What do you think that Arcadia's been guilty most of the entire time?
Probably bad slide tackles and a few body slams type of, or running into each other, that sort of thing. Both teams have had a few instances where they've tackled another player from behind. It hasn't been limited to simply one team. But with these two teams specifically, there is quite a lot of physicality, I guess you'd say. It's usually a very physical game in this sort of circumstance as well.
Yeah, both sides have been very aggressive. Large body slams, hard tackles, you name it. They've just been completely on complete aggressive mode.
Goal kick for Burbank. And the Burbank throw-in. Arcadia throw in here as Arcadia starts moving down the field once again. A little bit of a bad play there by Arcadia. Some miscommunication and the ball goes out, which is going to give Burbank the throw in.
That seems to be a little bit of a recurring trend on both sides. A little bit of miscommunication, a little bit of a bad pass, or maybe just too long for another player to reach and make an opportunity. But so far, both sides have been just a tad bit guilty. Not too much, but just enough for nothing to be on the board just of yet.
Decent play by Burbank, but Arcadia gets the ball. We can see a shot here, but Burbank defense stops it. Ooh, that is going to be a corner for Arcadia, however.
Bad trip by one of the Bulldogs.
Some more back and forth for both teams here, passing between the center of the field and the both sides.
Besides Arcadia's one offensive rush that got them pretty close to a goal, no, we haven't really seen much yet. It's just a little bit of back and forth, some passing between both teams, and we haven't really seen anything that could catch our eye just of yet.
Certainly true. Certainly true. We see Burbank pushing into Arcadia's side of the field with a few shots. That's going to be offsides on Burbank. Nice kick by Arcadia, and Arcadia is slowly moving out the field. Burbank, however, stops that, and they start moving towards Arcadia's goal. Back to Arcadia, however. That's going to be a foul on Arcadia.
Bulldogs trying to establish some sort of offense, but unfortunately they weren't able to follow through. But they will be given a second chance because that was often an Apache.
Good shot there by Burbank, but the Arcadia goalie stops the ball. Arcadia moving down the field again. It's good passing so far. A bit of a bad pass there for Arcadia, which is going to make them pass it back. Back to their defense, which has controlled the ball and is kicking it back forward. Another bad pass, though. Bad stop by Arcadia. It's going to let Burbank get the ball.
Both sides just scrambling to get possession.
Back to Arcadia, though. Foul on Burbank. Just over the top. Good try by Arcadia, but goes just a little too far above the Burbank goal.
So far we have seen both sides going at each other very aggressively, but each team with their own unique style. What have you seen so far with Arcadia?
Well, you know, they've been very aggressive, but I don't think they've been aggressive enough. They've also been very defensive, but I don't think they've been defensive enough. I think they need to choose one and focus on it. Another foul there on Arcadia.
Another bad tackle. A little slow to get up, but he looks like he's going to be okay.
Burbank pushing back into Arcadia's side. Arcadia defense giving Burbank way too many opportunities, and that's... Oh, it's just...
What a save!
Just stopped. That was a terrible play by the Arcadia defense. That could have had catastrophic consequences.
No matter how this game turns out today, we can all agree that the MVP of this game has to go to that goaltender. He has been spot on from start to finish. But in the midst of that, it seems like an Arcadia player is down and out.
Looks like that is Far, one of Arcadia's playmakers in midfield.
A little slow to get up. Play continues after that aggressive Bulldog attack.
Good Arcadia clear though. Bulldogs deflect it, but Arcadia players are all over that ball. They're going to start going forward once again. A lot of, you know, I think one of the reasons that the Bulldogs are still in this game is because they've been willing to tackle and foul cleanly and fairly.
It seems like Burbank has gotten their act together really quickly. It seems that their defense is a little bit more better than it was in the first half, and their offensive so far has seemed nothing short of spectacular.
Well, you know, what I really think is that I think Arcadia was very overconfident in the first half, which is why the defense suffered so much. And even a little bit into the second half, they're being a little overconfident, though that has worn down a bit. The defense still is suffering a little bit, but it's squared up a lot. The Arcadia offense hasn't been getting too many balls, and that's one thing that the Arcadia really needs to work on, is getting that ball from the defense, which is pretty strong, up to the offense to let them take shots. Arcadia moving in, but it looks like the goalie's going to get there. Oh, the goalie drops it! Oh, that was a failed shot by Arcadia. It could have been a beautiful goal, but no cigar. Oh, that could have been the game-winning play right there.
It happened to hit the net, but just not in the right area. Burbank goalkeeper a little shaken after that play, but he seems he's going to be all right. Continue to play.
It's going to be Burbank's goal kick. foul on Arcadia.
Arcadia fans a little upset that I didn't go the other way, but you gotta listen to what the ref has to say. Speaking of the ref, he got a little bit involved in that play. A nice pass back to Arcadia.
Goal kick for Arcadia.
Burbank tried to create something, but there wasn't enough players to put anything into motion, resulting in Arcadia now beginning their offense.
Arcadia's offense moving in.
Ball possession has to seem to be in favor of the Bulldogs right now. It seems like Arcadia hasn't been able to get a grip on it, and when they did, it was kind of sloppy.
Well, you know, I think Burbank's touches have been a lot sloppier than Arcadia's throughout this game. And I think overall, Arcadia's has had a little bit more ball possession than Burbank has. But it's definitely been way closer than Arcadia would like it. Nice try there by Burbank, but the ball goes too far to the right of the Arcadia goal.
Arcadia tried to get in there and get an opportunity started, but unfortunately did not get anything going for him.
You can see this game turning into a much more physical game than it was before, with both teams being a lot more physical.
Arcadia's just trying to get it out of their zone. They're not being able to capitalize on their defense, so they're just trying to hand it off to the offense and regroup on what they can build.
Arcadia sending it down the line again.
Arcadia sends it in deep.
Doesn't look like it's going to go particularly far, though. Burbank returning it. Still deep in Burbank's side, though. Arcadia could get lucky here. Oop, they do. The ball starts heading down their side of the field, or towards Burbank's side of the field, excuse me. But Burbank's defense gets there. It's going to be a goal kick.
Arcadia's plan of attack looks like to be so far, kick it in, let Burbank maybe or one of our runners grab it, and let the defense handle it once it comes back our way and see what we can establish. But right now, that's not really working for them.
I think Arcadia needs to push up a lot more, put a few more midfielders up with the offense to give them more support, and to go a lot faster when they do get there.
Very well put, very well put.
Good moves by Arcadia here, slowly pushing it down the field. Foul there on Arcadia. It's going to be Burbank's kick.
Just about halfway to go, and the score is still the same way we started this game, 0-0. But Burbank seems to pick up the aggressiveness a little bit more than Arcadia right now.
They're definitely using that to their advantage as well, using the push down the field past the Arcadia players. Arcadia defense working their magic once again, getting that ball out of the deep Arcadia field, but Burbank's bringing it back in. Almost goes through the defense. However, they get there. It's going to be a Burbank throw-in, dangerously close to the Arcadia goal.
Bulldogs are just stepping up on their offense. They're just giving them no room to breathe. Pressure is their main component right now, and it seems to be really working for them.
That's going to be another out on the Apaches. Another throw-in this time, but a little bit further down. And the Bulldogs are pushing past Arcadia defense. Arcadia defense does manage to stop them though. And it looks like the tide's going to be reversed a little bit here. A foul on Arcadia there.
Fouls just keep stacking up against the Apaches right now. Bad pass by the Bulldogs.
Arcadia kicks it forward. Ushman, the Arcadia forward, gets the ball, passes it to
A
the
one-on-one?
center. One-on-one with the goalie, but the goalie gets there first and kicks it out of there.
Kicked a little bit too far away from their only attacker.
Back to Arcadia, though. They can try it all again. Good passes by Arcadia so far. Just as I say that, they screw it up. And it looks like that's going to go out.
The Apaches seem to be turning the tide a little bit more. There seems to be a little bit more offensiveness by Arcadia, but not enough to do the job. It was a nice breakaway, but just, again, not enough to complete what they need to do, and there's still no points on the board by either side.
This is a corner kick for Arcadia here. Oh, the goalie just manages to get a hand on it. And that's going to be an Apache throw-in right next to the opposite corner. Ball goes back to the Bulldogs. Ooh. Foul on Arcadia there.
The Apaches seem to be stepping it up more now that the Bulldogs have kind of been letting up more. What do you think is going to happen in the next couple of minutes? Do you think anything's going to change, or do you think it's going to continue being 0-0?
Well, you know what? At this point, anything in this game can change. Both teams are pushing extremely hard. Both teams are doing a very, very good job, but one little mistake by either team could end up being a goal, and that could be the game.
To all those who have experienced a little bit of a technical glitch on their screen, we seem to be having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are currently working on it right now.
The game must go on. A beautiful shot by Arcadia. It's knocked out by the goalie.
And even a more amazing save by Burbank.
Arcadia bringing it back in for a second try. Ooh, but they screw it up.
A little bit of a bad kick, but nothing that can keep him down for long. But that may come back to haunt him in the end of the game.
You know, this is looking like Burbank has done a very, very, very good job against the Arcadia team. They managed to keep them on their toes. They've managed to mess with the defense. They've managed to hold off the Arcadia offense and prevent them from scoring any goals. They've done a very good job for a team with their record.
At this point, if either one side scores a goal, we can determine who might win this game. So far, they've been evenly matched. It just takes one slip up from either side to determine who's going to win this game today.
Burbank taking shots from further away in order to avoid the Arcadia defense. And Arcadia passing it up. You can see a breakaway for Arcadia here. Going through the defenders like this. Curving towards the goal. Is this going to be a shot? Oh! Nice try by Arcadia, but the goalie blocks it.
Desperate to just get even a single shot in, but Arcadia is definitely stepping up on the offense.
Another shot on goal by Arcadia. It goes too far to the right. That's going to be out, and a goal kick for Burbank. As time slowly ticks away.
Speaking of time, there's just about 12 minutes left to go, and just as the game started, 0-0. We have seen nothing yet, but as time continues forward, aggressiveness continues to be a key part of this game.
Both teams are being very aggressive in their play. Arcadia going for another shot here, it looks like. But Burbank, oh, that was a bit of a screw up by the Arcadia player there. Burbank takes the ball and they start dribbling down the field. Arcadia defense grabs it though. Back up, but Burbank gets there again. Apache defense stops another Burbank run. But there's another one on the left. It's going deep into Arcadia territory.
Burbank trying to build something, but not good enough.
The Apaches stop that before it can even begin to become anything that it wanted to become. And that's going to be a Burbank throw-in right next to the Arcadia corner.
So far into the second, we've seen a lot more aggressiveness by both sides. So what do you think you can take out of the second half so far that was different than the first?
Well, you know, both teams are pushing a lot harder. They've probed each other. They've figured out where the defense is thick, where it's thin, and they're pushing on those sides. They're pushing everywhere where the other team doesn't want them to push. They're trying everything they can, and so far it looks like that is not going to work. So right now both teams are looking for one small mistake they can exploit, a little bit of a problem that one has that they can just open up and make a shot off of, because one shot at this point will probably be the game.
Ten minutes left to go in the second half, and Arcadia is beginning a rush.
Arcadia players moving down the right side of the field. Looks like that ball went just a little bit too far down. Pass back to the goalie for Burbank here, who kicks it out to a Burbank player, but Arcadia is there. Will they be able to stop it? No, the ball keeps going, but another Arcadia gets there. Burbank gets it past anyway, though. And it goes right through the Arcadia defense. Burbank is still there.
We apologize once again to our viewers about a texture that is on the screen that should not be there. Again, we are experiencing technical difficulties and we are trying as fast as we can to build them. Pardon me, fix them.
But will this be enough? Will this one be the lucky shot that they need? We'll find out. Arcadia passes it far to the right. Ooh, a nice touch there, and this looks like it could be... Oh! That's going to be a foul inside of the box. Looks like this is going to be an Arcadia penalty kick. This could be the game.
This
right
could
here.
determine who might win or whether this can continue to be a tie game. This is a vital moment that we have first seen.
I'm sorry, this is not a penalty kick. Excuse me. It's a Arcadia corner kick. Excuse me for the excitement.
You had me going there for a minute, Panza.
Arcadia crosses it in. Burbank retakes the ball. And that's going to be a Burbank throw-in. Burbank sending it down the line, but Arcadia manages to kick it back. Burbank sending it back down the line. Foul on Arcadia, apparently. Arcadia starting to move the ball back down the field towards Burbank.
Both sides at this point just giving it everything they got. Large kicks, big tackles, just anything that they have. They're just trying to throw it out there. Just trying to hope that they can get that one last point that they can squeeze in.
Arcadia moving in, but Burbank's defense closes up on him. Arcadia kicks it, hoping for the best, but it goes way too far to the right. That's going to be a goal kick for Burbank.
Now, if you were Arcadia at this point, what would you be thinking that you need to continue to do in order for this game to turn into your favor?
I think that we need to press in the offensive department as hard and as fast as possible with most of the midfield and all of the offense, and just pressure the Burbank defense into non-existence, basically.
That keyword that you use, pressure, they need to continue using that pressure that they want to continue building, and that's how they're going to get goals.
Bad pass by Arcadia. It's going to be a Burbank throw-in. And with only 5 minutes left on the clock for this game, it's getting very, very tight. One mistake is all it would take for this game to end abruptly with one team coming out on top. Neither team has made that mistake yet, though. And if they have, they've been quick to patch it up.
Both sides' defense, whether...
Foul on Arcadia. No, I'm sorry. Foul on Burbank. The ref has corrected himself. That's going to be a Arcadia kick. This could be the game right here. If this is a direct kick for Arcadia, they could shoot directly on goal without any other player touching it. Excuse me. basically all of the Arcadia team pushing into the box here, but it's not enough. Burbank heads it out and starts it down the field towards Arcadia's goal. It's gonna go out of bounds, however. That's gonna be an Arcadia throw-in.
Just about 4 minutes left to go, and nothing has changed as of yet.
Minutes still ticking by. Neither team has gotten the point that they need to close this game down.
This may just very well end up in a result of a tie.
You know, earlier in this game I said that I thought Arcadia would steamroll Burbank into submission, but it definitely doesn't look like that's the case. Burbank's putting up a very, very good fight.
Both sides have gone up very well on both ends, offensively and defensively.
Arcadia defense stepping in there again to stop the ball from progressing any further down the field. It's going to be a Burbank pass, but at least it isn't a Burbank goal. Burbank makes a header. That's going to go out. It's going to give Arcadia the goal kick.
Reaching the final minutes, if they need to make any opportunities or create any, now's the time to do it.
Arcadia pushing down the field. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. Can either team get the point they need to win this game, or is it just going to end up 0-0? That's a good save there by Arcadia goalie. Arcadia players pushing into the Burbank box here. This could be the game. On the other hand, it could not be. We've seen this quite a few times with Arcadia, and so far it hasn't worked out. Shot there. Nope. Too far to the right. Burbank goal kick here. We could see Burbank start to slow the ball down and try to get out of this game with the tie, or we could see them try to speed it up and get to the other side of the field in order to try to score their own goal, depending on how they're feeling right now. Looks like what we've seen so far suggests that it's going to be the latter option. They're going to try to speed it up and score their own goal. But it can change in these final minutes if they don't feel they're ready enough, or if they feel ready and they want to go.
They only have a few moments to make a quick opportunities, or it will end up very likely to be a tie, but anything could happen in these short moments. All it takes is 1 second for it to go into the net.
Burbank goal kick. Arcadia receives it, starts sending it down the field. Another failed Arcadia attack. It's going to give the Burbank another goal kick.
These late passes or these far passes are really going to come back and haunt Arcadia. They could have just been like, oh, we could have rushed better, but eventually these could have been potential goals that they just missed out on.
Arcadia throwing. Another Arcadia throw-in here. Arcadia slowly making their way down the field with these throw-ins. After this is going to be another throw-in for Arcadia.
Slowly pushing up the field. Anything can happen in these moments.
Burbank clears the ball, or tries to, but Arcadia gets a head on it. Arcadia moving into the goal, but Burbank clears it back to the Arcadia defense, who send it back up to the Arcadia offense, and then Burbank sends it back to the defense again. It's a very back and forth game right now.
Burbank giving it one last go.
Their players are running down the field. This could be it for both teams here.
Great tackle.
Burbank throw-in on Arcadia's side.
These could be very well the final moments of this game and final opportunities for both sides to do something.
Yellow card for Arcadia player.
Let me pull a card out? Are you kidding me?
Free kick here for Burbank. Once again, close to the Arcadia goal.
Here we go, free kick for the Bulldogs.
Aimed right at the goal, but it stopped.
Ooh!
Arcadia goalie just barely saves that ball. And that's going to be a throw-in for Burbank. Throw-in by Burbank. Across to the other side of the field for Burbank, where a Burbank player was waiting. Another shot by Burbank, but it's too high.
Tried to kick it, but just missed. And a failed pass.
That's going to be a goal kick for Arcadia.
Both sides had strong potential opportunities to score a goal, but unfortunately, both those are going to come back to haunt them.
Arcadia kicks it down the field. But that's going to be the game. 0-0 Arcadia High School to Burbank.
What a
And
long
a
game.
fight breaks out. A fight has broken out on the field. Well, that's gonna be broken up pretty quickly. A very back and forth game all around, exciting all the way down to the very end of that fight there. But that's all we have time for tonight.
We thank you for watching, and this has been Willoughby.
This has been Benjamin Panza. See you later.